Oi! What's going on? I'm DJ Nastiness from RapAttackLives.com. And hey, if you're tired of watching videos from R. Kelly and P. Diddy, well, I've got the video show for you to watch. It is called The Boombox Union. That's right, The Boombox Union, hosted by Phil Jackson, aka Big Phil, and DJ Soulbuck. Those two have got the dopest videos around, and you're going to love the show. Check it out. The Boombox Union. Alright? I'm Nastiness. Peace, love, and hip-hop unity. Watch the Boombox Union. Alright? See ya!
Hey, what's going on? This is Phil Jackson, host of Side B TV, being brought to you on the Boombox Union channel. Please go back and hit that like and subscribe button. Shout out to my man DJ Soul. But man, look, I know we've been off for a little bit, but don't worry, we got so many interviews lined up, man. And you know, Side B TV is an extension of the Boombox Union. Shout out to Divine Drummer. You know, we started this years ago, and you know, I'm picking it back up. And what I wanted to do is with Side B TV is have interviews that I normally would do on Side B Radio on WPRB. So, but you know, I wanted to go. The interviews had to go a little bit further than the radio. Shout out to the radio, but YouTube is where it's at, and you know, podcasting and you know, just talking to people. And because when you're doing it on the radio, you only have a few minutes just to try to fit in everything. You don't fit in everything. But I have a special treat, man, because this brother, I've been a fan for this guy for so many years, and he's in my backyard, man. Man, he was with a legendary group. He's a dope MC. He's a tremendous producer from out of Camden, New Jersey. I got my man, Fel Sweetenberg, on Side B TV. What's going on, Fel?
Peace, Phil. Peace, man. Thanks for having me today, man.
Hey, look, man, it's been a pleasure and honor just being around you, because I've seen so much greatness out of you. You throughout the 14 years of Side B Radio, you've given me so much music by solo stuff, group stuff, things that you produce from other people, man. So, you know, you're with the legendary group called the NUTHOUSE out of Camden. We're going to talk about that and also, because that is super duper crazy. But humble beginnings for you, my brother. How did it all start in Camden, New Jersey? What created Fel Sweetenberg?
I mean, you know, I came from the culture where, you know, people used to rhyme in the cafeteria a lot, freestyle. Like, you know, I used to cut class a lot and just go to school, particularly just to rhyme. So, right. You know, I had a group of friends that we called ourselves the Lunatics then. We would cut 4th, 5th, and 6th period lunch at Camden High School and damn near go every day and just practice freestyle sessions back to back, just rhyming. And I got pretty good at it. So, you know, I just wanted to just continue to get better as an MC, just so I can be able to spit rhymes off the top in the cafeteria. That's really what it was all about. Just trying to hold my weight. When it was my turn to spit, I was able to hold my weight. That was all it was. So, you know, Dave Ghetto at the time was he probably was like the first dude that I saw with a demo tape or heard of a person with a demo tape. he had a joint called when it's cold outside, I put my rhymes on that he did.
Okay.
And
Right.
I had access to that joint, and I was like inspired by that. You know, years went by. He was an upperclassman. He was a little bit higher than me. You know, at Camden High when I met him. I probably was like a freshman at the time. So by the time I got into like maybe 10th or 11th grade, he was already going off. He was already out the college or whatever. So, you know, I'm still with my group. We doing talent shows and all kinds of shit all over the city, all over Philly, shit like that. And oh, I'm sorry. Am I allowed to curse?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, all right, my fault, man. I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, so I just I got a hold of that that demo tape, and you know, Dave went off to do his 1-2, and you know, when he came back in town, he was like, "Yo, you still rhyme? You still spitting?" I'm like, "Yeah, like I'm never going to stop that shit."
Right.
I'm never going to stop not spitting. So you know, we linked up. I linked up with him one day, and he was already doing some stuff with. The group was actually called the NUTHOUSE already. It was him and Jahi, Jason Archie, and they were doing joints, and like it was for me, it was so polished, it was so different from anything that I was, you know, accustomed to. Because you know, we was doing like, you know, the quick, you know, 2-track joints and rhyming over the speaker on the boombox or whatever. We didn't like actually go and have like real studio time until later on down the line. So
Okay.
you know, I'm seeing them do they 1-2, and then I'm like, yo, let me they like, yo, you why don't you hop on some of these joints with us? I'm like, all right, cool. I'll hop on a couple joints. So we did a whole project in like I'll say like 2 weeks, because I had so many rhymes written just to be ready to just spit when on demand. So we did a whole project of joints, and then like a lot of it didn't really get heard, but this one particular song got heard, which was Love Supreme. We put it on a like a demo for Rich Medina.
Okay.
Over when he had footwork and all that over there. Rich Medina, Steph Tata, shout out to the whole footwork squad over in Philadelphia when the underground Philly scene was really, really dope. He put it in the hands of Bobbito. And Bobbito, like, he signed us to fondle him based on that one song, the Love Supreme joint. And then like we hit him with a couple extra joints that he liked, but it was basically, that was the whole start. That was the whole inception of Fel Sweetenberg. And I was trying to think of a name, and Dave was like, yo, you should just call yourself, my nickname already was Fel anyway. But you know, everybody affectionately knows me as Sweets. Everybody calls me Sweets. So because my last name is actually Sweetenberg, so Sweets for short, you know what I mean?
Okay.
He's like, yo, take your nickname and your real name and just put it together. I was like, all right, well, shit. I put my nickname Fel and, you know, Sweetenberg, and put, you know, that was it. He was like, yo, just run with that. That's cool. I was like, all right. I ain't care. You know what I mean? It was just really about music for me. I didn't really care about the name. It was about, you know, when people heard me on the mic, I wanted to stand out or just do my part. You know what I mean? And that was it. That was the start of it. And then from that, the Fondlem situation, that went off into the whole Good Vibe situation when we was on the label with Slum Village when they dropped Fantastic Volume 2 and went on tour with Bahamadia and Spontaneous and Planet Asia and Rascal. You know what I mean? Up and down the East Coast, up to Canada, all types of wild shit, man. I got stories for days rocking with those brothers and going up and down. I mean, just performing damn near everywhere. Everywhere we could possibly perform, we perform.
Word. Now, how old were you when you first got signed?
Damn. Shit. That the first deal, really, it wasn't really no real like paperwork. Like we wasn't like, you know, signing the name on a dotted line with a contract and all that shit. Like Bobbito did that shit on the strength of a handshake.
Oh wow.
The first deal that we had with Bobbito on Fondlem was on some handshake shit. And he kept his word and he paid us exactly what we earned. You know what I mean? And that shit was phenomenal to me to have that one experience dealing with Bobbito. So definitely shout to Bobbito Garcia. He's icon in his own right. You know what I mean?
No, that's what's up. Now, coming from out of Camden, New Jersey, because what year were you guys signed? What year did Love Supreme come out?
I think around 99, 2000, somewhere around.
Okay, and that's my point, because of the fact that hip hop was kind of like in not limbo, but it was still underground, but it started moving more towards mainstream. And you guys and you could kind of see the shift in how hip hop was going now. So coming from out of Camden, New Jersey, and you know, with the Nut House's style of hip hop, was that hard to break through, or just like, okay, well, you know, we're doing it in Camden, but there are other people, other heads, like in different regions that really mess with us. So, like, where did you receive the most love? That's what I'm trying to get at, because like you could just tell that hip hop was starting to change.
Yeah, it definitely was changing. We definitely got a lot of love in Philly, man, and it's weird because, you know, Camden isn't really like, you know, aside from some of the legends that were doing it way long before us, like the Crown Rulers and stuff like that. You know, a lot of Camden artists that really didn't get no shine like that, and a lot of people were really surprised that we were doing it the way that we were doing it, being from, you know, Camden. They were like, "Where y'all from?" Like Camden. They like, "Oh shit, I thought that was like some country, like, you know what I mean, country bumpkins, like we was from the South or something, like, you know what I mean, like we don't have the capacity to be just as ill as anybody else." So a lot of it was shock factor. You know what I mean? We would go places and start killing shit, and just based off of that, the fact that they was like, "Oh shit, these dudes is ill." Like, "Oh shit, we could fuck with this right here." That's all we wanted. That's all we really wanted, was to, you know what I mean, just to have a seat at the table, bro. And we didn't care about the climate and how it was changing. It wasn't going to change the way that we decided to approach the music, you know what I mean, and trying to be as pure to the culture as possible. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I did not know that you guys were from Camden. I did not know that until, I wouldn't say recently, probably once Side B Radio started back in 2010. That's when I realized you guys were from Camden, New Jersey. But I was already, and to be honest, I Love Supreme. That's probably, I played the shit out of that song, bro. Every chance I got, I played it, because
that's dope.
You know, and we're gonna talk about that particular song in a minute, because it's a dope ass backstory towards that. But how many were in the group, the Nut House, and how many records did you guys put out?
I think we only put out the one, the actual one album that was on Good Vibe Records. But by that time, we had like a, you know, guys, you know what I mean, they were grown men working jobs and stuff like that. So Jahi was initially the original producer for the squad. So he didn't want to do it anymore. He was like, "Yo, I'm about to get married. I want to, you know, do the real grown man thing and pursue a career." You know what I mean? It's because I think he probably saw the same thing that we were talking about earlier, the shift in the climate. Like, I don't want to try to compete with these dudes to try to, you know, get, you know, rich or recognition, to try to go mainstream, but nobody ever was giving us the pressure to do that shit. We just was doing it because we love the music. But when he left and he started doing his 1-2, that's when I started to pick up the production and try to learn how to do beats and stuff like that. So I learned from my man Seven Shot and Byron Gans. They taught me a lot of stuff about making beats, and DJ Fade, DJ Crossfade, rest in peace to DJ Fade. He took me under the wing and taught me about like digging for records and samples and stuff like that. I learned from all those gentlemen. Okay. But when he left out, then I think we picked up. That's when Troy, Next Millenn, he entered the group, and he was doing production for us as well. So it was myself, Next Millenn, and Dave Ghetto.
How was it being like in a group? Because we all heard stories, you know, group members, you know, butting heads and not getting along. But how was it just being in the Nut House?
I mean, it was fun. We had a lot of fun in the studio, man. We was always in the studio. Always in the studio. So we had so many songs done that nobody will ever hear. Like we have them, but we don't think that we'll let the public hear it because a lot of it was just us, just getting the creative juices flowing and just rocking out. It was relatively easy. Like, yo, you got a verse for this? You like this beat right here? He'll play a bunch of beats. He'll let us know the idea that he got. Dave might come with an idea. I might come with an idea. I might do a solo joint. Dave might do a solo joint. Ja might do a solo joint or something like that. Or, you know, Next Millennium will come with an idea and then we'll just bounce off of each other back and forth like that. It was relatively easy for the most part. Just combining ideas, and whoever had the dopest idea for that day, we might do 6 songs that day. Like, you know what I'm saying? The next day we might do 2. The next day we might do 10. You know what I mean? It was real, not chaotic, but it was just fun, just being in that process. So like just going through that constantly with those gentlemen, I learned studio etiquette, how to, you know, deliver my verses in one take and how to do ad libs and all that kind of stuff. So like it was just practice for us, really.
Now, how was it the first time when you heard your song on the radio, and who was the first person to play your song on the radio?
Shit, I think it might have been
Bobbito.
Bobbito, yeah. I remember we were going up to the New Eurekan to perform one time, and we were listening to the radio, and we were on our way to New York. And as soon as we got out the Lincoln Tunnel, we touched down in New York. We had it tuned to the station, and he played the joint while we was coming into New York. So that felt great. You know what I mean? Definitely.
Word. Now, how did Philly / South Jersey, because of the fact that you guys were from South Jersey, and it was kind of unheard of, you know, because like you said, you had Crown Rulers, you had Shot Kill, you had Big Lou, you had those names out there, and then you also had the Nut House. Being in South Jersey, how hard was that to break into the Philadelphia market? Was that fairly easy for you guys, because that underground hip hop scene in Philly, especially like around that time, it was still alive and it was still crazy. So how was it easy to break into that Philly scene?
I mean, the Philly crowds definitely, like, if they like what you're doing, they're gonna be in the crowd like this.
Mm-hmm.
Might not get too much energy out of them, but they if they rock with you, they're gonna watch. They're not gonna actually like actively boo you, but they're gonna watch it. It's like this. So we, you know, started going like to all the spots, North Star Bar, the Black Lily, all the spots where any kind of underground hip hop shit was going on, we was there. So, you know, we started, you know, rubbing elbows with people, and whenever there was an opportunity to get on the mic and do anything, we got up on the mic, and you know, we did what we had to do, and people started to get familiar with us. Like, all right, boom, these the dudes from Camden, they can spit.
No,
you know what I mean? So it was relatively easy, man. It wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be, but you know, we also showed up, so it wasn't like we was just looking for a handout. Like, we actually were actively showing up to try to be a part of the scene.
Right.
I mean, it was fun, man. Definitely fun. There's nothing like it now. I don't think that even exists anymore. The whole Philly.
Nah, I don't think so, bro. But you know, you said that you went on tour, you know, with Planet Asia. You were label mates with Slum Village. So, you know, just, you know, all that creativeness on one label, like how was that, just being label mates with those guys, man? Because, and then, you know, were you in studio sessions that you actually heard something? It's like, yeah, that's dope, man. And it's like, then boom, it's the classes, automatic classes. So like, give me your, you know, give me your, how you felt about that. And, you know, what was that experience like?
I mean, it was a dope experience, but honestly, I felt like, yo, I got to step it up. Like, these dudes are incredible. Like, I got some work to do. So, you know, every chance that I got, I would be practicing on my craft, trying to write better, trying to get better at making beats and all that. Like, come on, man, you got Jay Dilla is your label mate on Good Vibe and shit. You know what I'm saying? He's doing joints for Bahamadia. She's your label mate too. You know what I'm saying? And Planet Asia destroying every stage that he got on since back then up until present day. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys are incredible. So it was like, yo, you gotta really, really, really hone your craft and really, really be dedicated to it. You know what I'm saying? And it made me really, really want to sharpen my steel, bro. That's I can't say that I could even like hold a candle to those guys. I just was like, yo, I just I just hope that we get love on the stage. Like I don't want to go after these dudes. We gotta go on first. Like we'll stand and watch them perform after we do our set. I want to stand backstage and watch them and learn. You know what I'm saying?
So you mentioned one producer, Jay Dilla. So like were you in any studio sessions with him, or like did you pick up anything from him producer wise?
I mean, a lot of times when we were on tour, Dilla, he was out doing other shit. Like I think he was probably doing stuff for Buster or stuff like that. So he might have did a couple shows, but it wasn't a lot. You know what I mean? Okay. He was always out. He was always working, but he wasn't the type. He didn't really talk too much. You know what I'm saying? He was more to himself, back of the bar somewhere, waiting for them to come on or some shit like that. And that was it. You know what I'm saying? We kicked it more with like T3 and Bot10 and like those dudes. Like Dilla was off doing his own one too. But I would learn off of what I heard. Like I would listen to the Fantastic Volume 2 album. Like, yo, this shit is incredible. Like I think Volume 1 was they were selling Volume 1 as additional merch while Volume 2 was out too. So you got the opportunity to get the previous work and Volume 2 at the same time at all the shows because they were doing their own merch one too. You know what I'm saying? So I listened to the shit and digested it. Like, yo, this shit is incredible. This shit is incredible. Like, yo, what the hell? But I was honored at the same time. Like, damn, I'm actually label mates with these dudes. Like, this shit is cool.
Right.
I'm on tour with these dudes. Like, this shit is fly. I'm backstage watching them perform, killing shit. You know what I mean? And at first, initially, I was like, yo, like, I was trying to figure it out because it was new to us. It was a new sound, and it was like undeniable, yo. Like I remember the first time I heard Players Thump in New York. Like that shit was insane. The bass line on Players.
Yes.
That's one of the things that I took from. That's one of the things that inspired me from Dilla is the bass lines, chopping up samples and making it say like certain phrases that you wanted to say, like kind of what he did with Donuts. You know what I mean? Like, I like to take samples and chop them up and make. Before we was doing stems, before anybody was doing stems, like he was doing that shit. So I definitely took that, being real intricate with the beat making and the chopping and the digging and the bass lines. Gotta have them bass lines. Word.
Now you said that you guys did a couple tours and everything. What was the most memorable tour that that the Nut House was on?
Oh shit. Canada was fun. We was up there rocking with Brass Monk. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Brass Monk out of Toronto. That shit was a fun tour up there rocking in Canada. We got so much love up there. It was ridiculous. Like it was like another planet to me. It was really, really fun, you know what I mean? Overseas too, but that was separate from the Nut House shit. Going overseas doing my own thing, like in Paris and places like that. That shit was fun too.
Okay. So, like you said, you just mentioned, going, stepping out, being a solo artist. So when was that? What year was that? And how did you come about becoming a solo artist? Because like when people say, oh, well, I'm a solo artist now, coming from a group, that means that the group had broke up. So did the Nut House actually break up, or So tell me, how you became a solo artist.
Nah, it was just Nut House never broke up. Dave just wanted to do his own thing, so he was working on his projects and he was doing his work, and I didn't want to sit by idle and just not work on my craft too. After all that inspiration and all the stuff that we've been through, I got to get to work. So in my leisure time, I would put some joints together too. And, I started just bouncing ideas around. And then next thing you know, I had a whole project done. You know what I mean? And when he came back in town, because I think he moved away to Queens, he was staying He was staying in Flushing up in New
Okay.
York. And, you know, he would come by from time to time. But one time he came down and I had like a whole project done and I let him hear it. And that was the Lost Dreams, Wasted Talent album that I put out with Soul Spasm.
Okay.
When he heard that shit, he was like, yo, like, what you been doing over here, dog? Like, yo, I've been trying to, you know, do my thing too. You know what I mean? It was never a situation where like we broke up and like I got to do my own thing because Dave was doing his own thing. None of that. It was never any kind of energy like that. It was just more, just keep the creative going because I want to show them that, you know, I'm doing my thing too. Like I ain't just going to sit by and just, you know, just let the talent waste away. You know what I mean?
So how did the Soul Spasm deal come about? Like, did they reach out to you? Like, so like how did that all happen?
Oh, he was performing at I like to say I forget what the venue was that we were performing, but we had pressed up our own copies of the Lost Dreams Wasted Talent project. And I think at the time Christoph was in communication with Dave at the show and he was like, yo, I want to holler at Fel because like he's up on stage, he's killing it and y'all slinging these CDs. Like let's put something together and see if we can work together. Like it was a situation kind of like that. So later on that night, Dave came to me like, yo, Soul Spasm want to pick up the project, dog, and put it out like on a bigger scale. I was like, hell yeah, ain't nothing to talk about. Let's talk the numbers and we can do it. Like I never really gave a shit about the money like that. It was more or less just getting it out to the people as far as we could possibly reach. You know what I mean? Distribution deals, whatever the situation was, just to get the music out. That's all I really cared about, bro. So that's how that whole situation came about.
And you know what the crazy thing about it is? Like back then, this is just my opinion. That I think it weighs more back then because you know internet was still new, and the internet wasn't doing what it's doing right now. That you can get music out to the masses. So what you guys did and what you did as a solo artist back then, getting your material out is incredible. I say that to all the artists from back then because of the fact that you know they didn't have the internet as their resource, and now you can make a song and you can put it out, and you don't even have to wait for a label or anything like that. So you're listening to Side B TV. Well, you're not listening to Side B TV. You're watching Side B TV with your special guest, Fel Sweetenberg. Yo, man, real quick, before we go on any further, this is a personal fan question of mine. This project that you guys have put out years ago got so much praise that even when I started with Side B Radio on WPRB, I tried to get this project. Where the hell is the De La Soul joint that you know everybody's been talking about? What's the name of it, and how many tracks were on that project?
Man, it was called Camden High and Rising. Okay. Because De La Soul is one of Dave and I's like our favorite group. We love De La Soul. You know, we used to often get into arguments and stuff about that. Like who was our, like, you know, people would choose Tribe and we would always choose De La Soul. So we was like, all right, you know, it was just a tribute to them. You know what I'm saying? We was working with Set Free and DJ Ambush and the people with Commonwealth at the time. And we were just like trying to tap into like a new sound and do some new stuff. So we recorded some new joints, and then I think Set Free had the idea for us to like do at least like like breathe life into it like an old De La joint or something. Like do a De La joint, and we revamped it and kept the like we did it. I forget which one we recorded first, but we recorded the joint, but we changed the lyrics around, but kept the same syllable patterns and the same cadence as the original De La Soul songs, but we put like a Camden twist on it, and we called it Camden High and Rising, and all the songs they ended up being Camden like themed, you know what I'm saying? So we were doing all De La Soul joints, but just flipped it, and we did like maybe 10 joints or something like that.
Okay.
And we we sent the set free to get them mixed and all that, and he said he was going to get Prince Paul to actually host it.
Okay.
We were shocked and we was amazed when Prince Paul was involved with it too, to actually give us the green light to, you know, rock over some of the De La classic songs and, you know, not desecrate any of the iconic music that they did, but to just have some fun. You know what I'm saying? It was about the creativity, have some fun with it and do something different with it. And, you know, we tossed it out. We gave it out for free. It was a project that was a free download for people. You know what I mean? Just to put something new out, just to have the creative juices flowing, to let y'all know that NUTHOUSE was going to reemerge again and do some more stuff. So we had a couple singles that we put out after that too. But that was the initial idea, to try to get the buzz back, you know, going, that, you know, NUTHOUSE is about to come back out with some new stuff.
How did De La
I'll get it to you.
Yes, please do.
Huh?
How did De La Soul receive that project?
We were only in contact with Free and Prince Paul at the time. I didn't get a chance to talk to Paz or Mace or Dave about it. But I know when we posted it, they gave us like a thumbs up. So I guess that was the green light that it was all right. You know what I mean? I was glad with that, just that, you know what I'm saying? Just to be able to rock over some De La joints. And it was funny because Prince Paul was saying, like, on the actual project, like, yo, how did they get the instrumentals to that, man? Like, that instrumental doesn't even exist. Like, how the hell did they do that? They're from Camden. They probably stole it. So I don't know. You know, it was like a bad connotation they were putting on Camden. Like, how did these dudes from Camden get a De La Soul instrumental that don't exist? And it was before stems and all that kind of shit. But, you know,
right.
I probably went into the studio and just recreated it somehow and, like, you know, merged it together to make it work.
No, that's what's up. Now I want to talk about one song, classic song. And when that song drops, everybody knows who Love Supreme, man. Like, tell me the studio session with that particular song, man, because the lyrics are crazy, the beat is extra crazy, and you know, how were you guys inspired to do that song?
I mean, Jahi is like an ultimate, like, he's like the ultimate jazz, like, music fan. So he will always be listening to jazz and, like, really obscure stuff. And he will always try to, like, flip those joints and make something, like, make some hip hop shit with it, with some hard drums behind it. So it was just one of those situations where he was like, you know, I got some new stuff. He probably gave it to us on a Maxell 2XL tape or something like that. And he was like, yo, just write some joints. We're going to go to the studio and we're going to record. It wasn't like, I don't even think it was something that we, like, really, 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 like, planned, like, in depth. Like, we was just, all right, he tossed on the beat. He was like, all right, what you got for this? What you got for this? All right, let's do it. And then we just went in and recorded it. And I was surprised at the reception that joint got, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it got into the hands of, like, Bobbito and Rich Medina and them. Like, when they, like, embraced that song, when they actually heard it, we didn't know the impact that it was going to have, if that was going to be the one song that was going to open up a lot of doors for us as a group. You know what I mean? It was just one day we was in the studio and was recording. Like, he came with this hot ass beat. We was like, all right, let's do this shit. Like, come with your A game, though. Come with your A game. So that's what happened. Yeah. Yep.
Man, that song is an instant classic, bro. I'm telling you right now, like I said before,
that's crazy.
I think I actually had to retire that song off of Sabi Radio because that's how much I was playing it. That's how much I was playing it, bro. But like, just to fast forward, you know, you said that, you know, you had to deal with Soul Spasm, you had projects out. Now, when did the production side of Fel Sweetenberg become more serious? And who was the first person besides the group in the NUTHOUSE? Who was the first person that you actually made a beat for? And they say, "Yo, I want to put this. I'm gonna make a song out of it." Like who was the first person? Who was the first artist that did that?
I don't know. It might have been in-house. It might have been like Post Wonder or somebody like that. Because, you know, Post and I used to be in a group too. He was one of the dudes in the Lunatics when I was, you know, in my infancy years trying to, you know, get into the hip hop thing. So he might have been one of the first ones to actually rock over something. But, you know, I was still learning. So I was trying to pull information and pull tips and tricks from everybody that I was in close proximity with all these great dudes that were making music. And I was the young guy in the squad. So they was like, yo, you know what I mean? They were sharing stuff with me. But they didn't want me to learn too much.
Exactly.
so I learned, like I would take it, and then I bought my first MPC and all that kind of stuff, and I just was practicing just to have something to present. Like, yo, I made these joints. Check these out. You know what I mean? Probably some of the joints was whack in the beginning or whatever, but they would encourage me to continue, trying to dig and get better and show me different tricks. I learned stuff from Next Millenn. I learned stuff from Seven Shot. I learned stuff from Jahi, a bunch of dudes. Stingray, Ray Watkins, peace to Ray Watkins, Marcus Boyd, Creative Artist Productions at the time. He showed me a lot of stuff. Like I was a sponge, man. When I got the bug for producing, I became a savant with it. Like I was dedicated hardcore to just learning as much as I could about making beats. But to answer your question, it probably was post, like I might have did something for myself or something like that, or one joint for the group, and I'd be surprised, like, damn, y'all like this shit? Really? It's not done, it's not perfected, it's not done to me, but if y'all like it, cool. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you, you had great chemistry with a lot of artists, but the one artist, the one group that you really have really, really good chemistry with is Ralph Almighty and Snook the Crook, man. Look, when them two brothers get together on the Fel Sweetenberg beat, man, it is so crazy, man. So tell me how it is working with those guys from out of Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh my God. Dirt Platoon, that's family right there. You know what I mean? Those dudes, like my cousin Juan Nance, right? He's from Baltimore. He's like he's one of those figures down in the hip hop scene in Baltimore that like is the glue for a lot of people. And he introduced me to Dirt Platoon like before their first album, before their first project. Like they were still working on songs at the time. But I would go down there for him to chill with him on the weekends, and he would bring me around all these different, artists and all these different groups. Like at the time, I think Dirt Platoon was like 4 guys. And they was doing their 1-2, and I was making beats then, and I would take my actual MPC down there and like plug it up into like a little stereo and just be playing beats, and we'd just rhyme. And then they actually started recording some of the joints. So like I kind of like initially, like I was one of the catalysts to like shaping some of those styles and some of those the original like Dirt Platoon songs. Like I was the catalyst behind that, and I'm thankful that I was the catalyst behind that, because I think before that they were probably working with this kid named Fathead down there in Baltimore. So like those dudes, they amazed me back then. Like I was surprised, just like how dudes was surprised about us in Jersey rhyming the way that we rhyme. I was surprised that it was dudes that sound like that in Baltimore. I was like, yo, we definitely got to work. We just instantly clicked. We instantly like clicked and vibed together, bro. It was incredible how fast that shit happened for us, and we always been fam ever since.
You know what the crazy thing about it is? Baltimore and Camden, like you said, they're almost similar. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, they're almost similar because of the fact that 99 to like early 2000s, like hip hop was changing, but it was still the underground clique that still was carrying the torch, and it was coming from unfamiliar places like a Camden, New Jersey, or Baltimore, Maryland, man. So fast forward, man. As an artist, what do you feel as though that the hardest thing to accomplish in the music business as an artist? Because now, at this point, you're with the group, you're a solo artist, and now you're a producer. So like you're really in the industry right now. So what was one of the obstacles that you faced early in your career as an artist?
Obstacles?
I'm in boss mode, 5 sharp, straightforward like crossbows. Park you in.
That's interesting. In hindsight, I think the only obstacle for me was staying inspired. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Trying to stay inspired to actually still want to do it, especially when, you know, we all grown men, we got to work, we got to pay bills, we got, you know, kids and families, and, you know, you still want to do your hip hop thing, but you're like, man, I gotta work too. I gotta get this money. Like, if I can't get it from the rap shit, I'm gonna get it from a steady paying job or something like that. So I think just life and probably was one of the biggest obstacles, where you really want to pursue the art and do it as much as you possibly can, but a lot of the opportunities might not have been there like that to able to sustain you to just be an artist. And you actually really have to go work a job and like get a career started and all that kind of stuff like that, that you can segue into the artwork after that. Because if you got steady money coming in, you're not really worried about trying to chase a check, to try to go out there and try to like really conform or do anything just for the sake of putting something out so you can get paid for it. So, you know, I heard Brownsville Kai say the same thing, and I agree with him 100%. You know, rest in peace to Brownsville Kai. He said that, like, you know, he worked for the fire department. He's like, yo, having a career like actually freed me up to be the artist that I wanted to be, and I could do whatever I wanted to do and put it out however I wanted, and I didn't have to worry about trying to, you know, please any label execs or anybody like that. I could just do what I wanted to do. But I'll say that life and probably was the biggest obstacle, where you have to like choose whether or not you want to really like dive, take the deep dive, like the suicide dive with no parachute, and just run out there and just be like, yo, I ain't doing nothing else but working on music. Or let me work a job and put the music on the back burner for a little bit. I'll get back to the music, but let me go over here and get this money real quick. That probably was, I would say that's probably the biggest obstacle, which I know a lot of artists feel the same way, and they do the same shit too. We grown men, we got to do what we got to do. You got to make that money first.
Absolutely. Has there ever been a time that you were uninspired to do music?
All the time.
Okay.
All the time, bro. I be I quit so many times, bro. Honestly, bro, I quit so many times, but then I'm like, yo, man, I love it too much to quit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Love it too much to quit.
It's like a love-hate relationship, because that's how I am with radio sometimes. I was like, man, I don't feel like doing this shit no more. And then, you know, because I do work for New Jersey Transit, so, you know, I had to stop doing radio for maybe like a year. And so, but then I got inspired again by you know, hearing like a DJ Soulbuck. Shout out to DJ Soulbuck out there. Hearing his radio show. We're gonna talk about that song that you, Soulbuck, and Devon Drummer got. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit too, also. But you know, I would just hear like different songs. Yeah. You know, different radio shows. I'm like, yo, I got to get back into this. So yeah, I mean, because like I'm not an artist, but you know, it's like sometimes I'm, even to this day, sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like doing a damn radio show.
Right.
Because I've been doing it for so long. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But my next question is now fast forward 2024. Now, how long, because you've been off the radar for a minute. So like what made you come back? Because I kept seeing these clips on Facebook. I'm like, yo, is Fel like what's going on here? Because it's like, all right, you know, he must got something going on. You know, he must got a project coming out. So like, what inspired you to get back in, and how long were you like out of music?
I mean, I probably was out for a few. Well, I was doing features like here and there.
Okay.
I like somebody
you
to do a feature, but like as far as like a full project like that, I was really focusing on, you know, getting better at the production, like learning the machine. Like I was using the MPC 2000 XL for so long, and I bought the machine and never wanted to touch it. Like I was so afraid to like try something new and learn the software and the hardware like merged together, as opposed to just having a hardware piece and making all my beats on that. Like I had to try to like really focus and dedicate time into learning the machine. So the whole time that I was away, I was really just trying to learn how to do beats on the machine and how to get better at, you know, Logic Pro and programs and learning DAWs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I was trying to keep the creative juices flowing in my leisure time. And, you know, every now and then I'll peek out and maybe like toss out a joint on. I just started putting joints on TikTok, like beats on TikTok. And I started attending Divine Drummer got a show. He got actually 3 shows a week.
Divine Drummer has 3 shows. Real quick, not to cut you off, not to cut you off, brother, but I want to give a special shout out to Divine Drummer. And I absolutely mean this from the bottom of my heart. That is my brother right there. And I've seen the growth in him within, because we've been friends for 14 years, and I've seen the growth of him. And you know, he's had his own show. Now he has 3. I think he has 4 shows now. I'm pretty sure he has 4 shows
a
week, and he's still making music. And
in between that, like, how is he doing this shit? Okay, I'm sorry.
He is amazing.
Amazing, right?
I have one quick story, because he is Sabi Radio. He's always going to be a member of Sabi Radio. Shout out to A Slaughter out there. Shout out to Scatter RP and Feed and all them.
Yeah.
One Sunday out, you know, I was playing a Divine Drummer produced song, and I think he came up to the show. This is before he full-fledged became on the radio. He was like, "Yo, Phil, I appreciate you playing the song, but yo, can you play something else?" I mean, that's how much of a fan I was of that, because I didn't even know who Divine Drummer was. I went to a showcase, and Dre Scuff, shout out to Dre Scuffs out there. He actually had a song, and I loved his lyrics, but I came over to him after when he performed. I said, "Yo, who did that beat?" He said, "Oh, it's this dude, Divine Drummer from out of Trent." And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
So I looked him up, and you know, the rest is history, man. You know, I don't know how he's doing it, but he's carved out a lane that is necessary in this culture, and you know, he is very necessary to what he's doing right now. And so I just want to give a special shout out to Divine Drummer out there. Keep doing what you're doing, brother, and we're gonna link up pretty soon. But so what, he inspired you to you know, to get back into everything?
I think it might be a frequency thing, man. Like, you know, us creatives, we all tap into a certain frequency at a certain point. So I don't know if it's an algorithm thing or what, but one day I just stumbled across like his page or something like that, and it was having, I think it was probably one of the re-whip shows or something like that, where he was taking songs and remixing them completely, making them sound completely different. This shit blew my mind, and I'm like, yo, I've been doing it, but I never let anybody hear it. I never let anybody hear the shit. So I had tons of remixes too, and a whole bunch of joints that I never let anybody hear. So I started sending joints to the show, like just to test the waters and see what people would think about it. Boom. And I sent one joint, and they loved it. I was like, that's what's up. Like, damn, they actually like this joint. He played it. They did the hold up, spun it back, the whole shit, and ran it again. And just him doing that, his shows every week. I tell him all the time, bro. And I'm like, I don't want to sound like a broken record telling this guy the same shit over and over again, or thanking him so much where, you know, it comes across kind of weird or some shit. I'm like, yo, but yo, thank you for inspiring us, bro, and keeping the creative juices flowing every week. Like, it gives us something to aspire to every week, to come with something new. It keeps you working, keeps you making joints, keeps you digging for samples, chopping up shit. It keeps you on point. Not only just making songs or writing, doing like songs, the remixes, the beats, and playing songs. He does that during the week. Like, it's insane. He merged the whole shit. All of them, they in their own respective lane. That shit is going to be big as fuck at some point.
It's
you know what I'm
crazy.
saying? Like,
it's crazy.
I see the snowball effect. I see how many people it's touching right now. You know what I mean? It's going to be crazy. So, like you said earlier, definitely shout out and salute to Divine Drummer and the whole team, man. That shit is incredible, bro. I love what they do.
Now, what how did the collaboration of you, Divine Drummer, and DJ Soba come about? Because I knew about it. I actually had the record, and Soba was like, "Don't play this." I'm like, I ain't gonna play. I listened to it. I was like, "Shit, I want to play this." I said, "Nah, I ain't gonna play it." I said, I'm gonna reach out to Fel.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to map everything out. So, first of all, how did you guys come up with collaborating together, and where did you find the time to do this?
I mean, I was attending the shows weekly. I was coming every week. I would go to the Rewhip show. I would go to the Side Beat show. I would go to the Divine Oasis show, and I would just listen. I would send joints to the email, and we would just chop it up in the chat. You know what I'm saying? And like, when he realized that, oh damn, this is Fel, like from Camden. This kid he's on the same frequency as us. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I want to work with you, bro. Like, what we got to do. That was the first thing I said, was that before I really started attending the shows, because I was listening at first before I actually sent some joints in. So I asked him, like, yo, I was listening to one of the joints and I asked him, yo, like, anybody rocking to this beat right here? Let me try something over. Let me get the instrumental. And he sent me the joint, and then I recorded it, and he liked that shit. Then I asked for another one, and he sent me that too, and I rocked over that. So it was just, I guess, the camaraderie of me attending the shows weekly and being actually active and not just listening and just sitting there absorbing things. I was actually participating and actually in the mix, kicking it with everybody in the room, shouting out everybody in the room, showing love and being present. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what sparked the interest for Divine Drummer to even want to work with me in that way. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even think that he knew that I rhyme like that. I thought he just thought that I just make beats, which is crazy because I started off rhyming first. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that he rhymed this shit. Yeah.
Right, and that's what I was just about to ask. Like, was that like the actual first time that you and Divine Drummer connected, or like have you guys already knew about each other in the past?
I knew about him in the past. I think the Garden Variety and all that. I think
yes. Yep.
Dealing with Fickle. You know what I mean? Fucking with Fickle and Yehuda Da B in them. Like I was familiar with him since back then. You know what I mean? But just coming into contact with him now with the shows, like actually this year, me going to the shows and actually checking it out and trying to be in the mix and trying to learn and trying to, network with the people inside there, because there are incredible producers in there that are dropping shit every week. Every week they come in with new heat. Like, so you gotta step up to the plate and actually work on your shit too. Like in your leisure time, work on something. It had me making something new every day. Every day I was making something new so I could send it to the show. All right, I know the show coming on Monday. Let me make 2 joints real quick. Boom, so I can send them over. Maybe they'll play it, maybe they won't, but at least I sent it. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's what sparked the union between me and him to make that one joint that we did.
So is it safe to say a whole project is coming out?
Yo, it's crazy you say that, because he was saying something like that. Like the people was like, it's whispering, like they're whispering about that right now. Like, yo, a Divine Drummer Fel Sweetenberg album, Silverback Lauren album will be ill. Like, what's up? Like, are y'all gonna do it or what? I'm like, I'm down for it. I know I'm down for it. You know what I mean? If I gotta pay for it out of my pocket, I'll pay for it out of my pocket to pay for each and every track, bro. You know what I mean? Just to keep it popping. You know what I mean? Definitely want to keep it all business and keep it fun and respect his time. You know what I'm saying? Not asking for no handouts like, yo, give me a bunch of free beats type of shit. Nah, I'll make beats too, but I know what it takes, bro. So I'll pay. You know what I'm saying? Just so I can have that cemented in the culture. Like Divine Drummer Fel Sweetenberg did some shit together. That's all it is.
Just by talking to you and just seeing like you talk about music, I can see like you're inspired again, even more so. And with that being said, are there any artists out there that you haven't worked with yet that you would like to do something with? Or has any artist, they seen what you're doing right now and they're reaching back out to you?
I mean, it's so many dope artists out there, man. It's crazy that just to even try to think about branching out to do stuff with other people from other places. Like, I think I would want to do a collaborative project with like people in our city. You know what I mean? Camden City, like Shaquille and Big Lou and Apollo Ali and Porter Rich and Hamillions and you know what I mean? All those gentlemen that are really, really incredible. I would want to work with them first to do like a actual project with the producers and the MCs from Camden, just for the sake of just saying like we did something together. You know what I mean? I can always reach out and do stuff with other people, but I would want to cement something for the city, kind of like how Big Lou did the Voices joint back in the day, where everybody was on one song. I would want to do like an EP or like a series of EPs or something like that. It can be compartmentalized to like different parts of the city, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. However we could do it to find the best of the best in each of these areas and make something really, really dope for the people, man.
I can see you working with Porter. Have you ever worked with Porter Rich before?
Yo, I got a joint for the album that is me, Porter Rich, Shaquille, and Apollo Ali. And I did the beat. Yo, I'm gonna send you that. I'm gonna send you that, bro.
Yeah, send me that, please. Now, speaking of Camden, New Jersey, you mentioned all these phenomenal MCs coming out the city of Camden, New Jersey, and everybody knows of them. And, you know, they submit not just their name in Camden, but in the hip hop culture in a whole. Who is it that we need to be on the lookout for that's up and coming in the city of Camden right now?
Oh, man. I love what everybody's doing. The young guys are really, really taking it serious. They want to be creatives, and they're really driving the envelope, man. They pushing the envelope to do something dope for the city. One of my favorites, I like Real Rock. I like Point Blank Range, bro. Point Blank Range.
All right, stop right there. Is he still rhyming? That's what I want to know. Is he still rhyming?
Yo, I reached out to him. I wanted to do a whole project with him.
Okay.
When I first heard Point Blank Range, bro, I was like, yo, I got to reach out to this dude, and we just going to work on some shit and do a whole, like, I don't give a fuck if it's like 30 songs. I just want to do a whole bunch of joints with Point Blank just so we can have in the arsenal. You know what I mean? We decided to put it out of any of that. Like, he's one of the main dudes that I really, really wanted to work with because he's so nasty with it. So nasty. Like, I definitely feel like he's one of the ones to watch out for when he really, really becomes laser focused with it. And it's going to be a problem for a lot of people, man. In a good way, though. In a creative, good way. You know what I'm saying? Not in a violent.
Right. Way. I remember him coming up to the studio. Mr. Fickle, shout out to Mr. Fickle out there. He brought him up to the studio and he freestyled on my show. And I was looking at him like he had like 4 heads. I was like, bro, it's like, are you serious right now? Super talented, man. Brother is super talented. Yes.
Nasty. Scary. Like it's to a point, like you said, 4 heads. Like this dude, how is he this nice like this? How is he this nice? Like, I definitely want to join forces with him and do some dope shit. Like that shit would be incredible, man.
What about, have you ever Apollo? And this might be a dumb question. Have you worked with Apollo Ali? Because like he's on another level too. I mean, you see what I'm saying? And you know, he has so much success outside of the city that is so crazy, man. And also, real quick, big shout out to him and Porter Rich and the Sons of Sins.
Definitely.
Movie is out right now on Amazon Prime. Please go out and support that. But it's just so much talent. I'm going back to Apollo Ali in the city of Camden, man. So have you ever had a chance to work with him?
Yeah, man. Hell yeah, Apollo is a beast, man.
I know that was a dumbass question, but you know, I had to ask it.
Apollo, Burb, Spielberg, all them dudes, man. That whole squad, their whole team. End the story. My brother Mute One, he works with them a lot too. My younger brother Mute, that's a producer.
You know what? I'm glad that you mentioned that because you know what? After when we get off, I need Mute One's math because of the fact that I've been played this record on Side B Radio, and somebody shouts out Camden, New Jersey, and I'm like, wait a minute. And you know what? And today, I'm no lie, Fel, I was trying to figure out what producer out of Camden besides of you that I played on Side B Radio. And to be honest, I just played the damn song last week on my show. So yeah, Mute One, man. I'm telling you right now, that guy is special. He got something, man. He definitely has something going on.
That's my physical brother. That's my actual blood brother.
Really?
Like, yes, my brother, my baby brother.
Oh well.
So I had him listening to music before he could talk and walk, bro. So it was no secret that he was going to end up becoming a hybrid of amazing hip hop from all the different time periods and all that. He's encompassed all that, and his music reflects that shit.
Well, tell your brother that I've been playing this music on my show.
Definitely.
And he probably doesn't even know, but thank you for mentioning that because I was racking my brain today. It's like, what was that producer's name out of Camden, New Jersey? Yeah. So thank you for bringing that up.
That's my bro. That's my bro.
That's what's up. Now, I like to ask this question because you're multi-talented and, you know, you have to pick one.
I'm in boss mode, 5 shots straight forward like crossbows.
Which one is it? You can only do one. So, like, which one is it? MCing or producing?
Can I do it based off of the time frame now? Like me being an elder statesman now, like if I would just decide to just sit back and just produce joints, or if I'm gonna still exercise the pen and keep my pen.
Yeah,
damn,
you know what?
That's hard, man. That's a hard.
Nah, you had that right. So go ahead. You got to pick one though.
Oh man, you make this so hard, bro. For me, it would be MCing.
Oh, okay.
MCing.
Bird.
Definitely writing joints, syllable patterns, all that kind of crazy shit, just to say something wild that ain't nobody say. That was my initial straightforward like crossbows. I never even thought about making beats. It was always the rhyme skill.
That's what's up. Now, my very, very last question is, well, I got two. Well, when is your project coming out? And also, can we expect a NUTHOUSE project or maybe unreleased tracks? Like, what's going on with that?
Yes. First question. I got a series of EPs dropping. I'm starting at the beginning of the year with the same dudes, Efficients out of Paris. I just saw the cover art today for the projects. I got Knots Raw on it doing production. I got Buck Wild from DITC. I got Nicholas Craven. I got Ito on it. I got Apollo Brown on it. Myself, Mill from out of Paris, DJ Brands. Of course, I got Dirt Platoon on it. I got Starvin' B on it. I got Finale on it. My brother Mute did a joint on it. It's going to be incredible, bro. And I got 2 joints that I did with Divine Drummer that we giving out as hors d'oeuvres just initially to get the ball rolling, to, you know, let the people know that I'm about to step back up to the plate and try to deliver something dope for the people. You know what I mean? I'm really, really looking forward to this because I've been working on it for a minute, like in the shadows, just trying to get all those pieces of the puzzle together to present something really, really dope. And it's different. Oh, I also got Large Professor on the joint. He did a joint for me on the shit.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I mean? So it's refreshing for me to, yeah, bro. The lineup is insane, bro. It's crazy. So I can't wait because I'm tapping into different, you know, tempos and stuff like that. And, you know, just trying to do something different to just, you know, keep the juices fresh. You know what I'm saying? Keep it popping. So that's coming at the top of the year. I think we're gonna start that late January, probably late January, first quarter type of shit. And the next single that I did with drummer that DJ Soulbuck scratched on and cut on and killed that joint, the Take 'Em to Church joint. That's the next single because we just dropped the
real quick, how did you guys bring Soulbuck? That's my brother out there. Boombox Union is coming up, but how did you get Soulbuck? Because when he emailed me, he said, "Yo, me, Devon Drummer, and Fel Sweetenberg," I said, "Are you fucking shitting me? Like, how? You know what I mean?"
I've been wanting to work with Soulbuck. Like I've been banging with Soulbuck for a minute too. So you know what I mean. Usually my go-to would be Jay Ski. I would try to reach out to Ski to see if he can do some scratches and cuts for my joint. Like I love Jay Ski. He always blows my mind. You know what I mean. But I think he was busy. Like I reached out to him first, and he, you know what I mean, he couldn't respond because he was doing his 1-2. I was like, no, let me reach out to Buck. Let me see if Buck will be down to do some scratches for my joint. And sure enough, bro, I hit him up. I asked him if he would be down. I asked him what it would cost. Covered the cost. Got him to come through, and not come through, but I sent it to him. He's like, I have it done on the weekend. I'm like, cool. Sunday came. It wasn't done yet. He was like, yo, I'll give it to you Monday. I was like, all right. I was waiting and shit. And then he actually sent it to me on Tuesday. So I was like, all right, bet. I heard it. I was like, yo, it's crazy. And then I sent it immediately to Drummer. Let Drummer hear it. You know what I mean? And Drummer approved. So I was thankful for that, bro. I was really, really thankful for that. Like just the opportunity to work with both of them on that joint. To actually really, really do it. Because I've been wanting to deal with Soulbuck for a minute, bro. I don't know if he thought I was serious though, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, I'm gonna reach out and really, really make it happen. You know what I mean? Like, yo, how much is it gonna cost to get you to cut on this joint for me, bro? He let me know. I was like, all right, I'm gonna send that over. I sent it over immediately. Word up.
No, that's what's up. Now,
so shout out to Soulbuck.
Oh man, those are my brothers right there, man. Like very, like the creative ideas. I can only imagine that you, Buck, and Devon Drummer is super crazy. But the second part of that question is like, can we expect like the NUTHOUSE new material or unreleased music is going to be coming out in the near future?
Yeah, we got a ton of unreleased joints that we were doing around the same time that we did the Camden High and Rising joint. I know me and Dave, we got like a vault full of joints. So it's just a matter of me talking to Dave and seeing what he would want to release, and then we'll come together or maybe do something new. I don't know. He was just up here a couple weeks ago too, and he came by and we just busted it up. And he was letting me hear some of the stuff that he's been doing because he's getting into the production a little bit more heavy now too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I definitely could see that on the horizon, us releasing some unreleased or some new NUTHOUSE joints. That'll be fun. I'm down for it. See, that's the thing. The creative juices that the Divine Drummer whirlwind, when it happened, it sparked new life into me to want to really pursue it a little bit more seriously than I have in a long time. So I'm really, really thankful for that, dude. And I tell him all the time, Drummer, I'm telling you, bro. Word up. Thank you, bro. Thank you for the spark, man. Real.
One word to describe Fel Sweetenberg. What is that one?
I'm in boss mode, 5 sharp, straightforward like crossbows. Block you.
Observant. Observant.
And why that? Yeah, and why that word?
Because I like to watch and listen. You know what I mean? And absorb what I'm, absorb what I'm experiencing at the moment. You know what I mean? So I can really, really analyze it and take it, put things in the proper context, and really I'll agonize over certain things for the longest time, but I'm such an observer that like it bothers me sometimes that I'm so observant. Like I watch every little small minute detail. I don't know what that's about, but it keeps me up at night. So I have to like chemically induce my sleep in order to shut my brain off so I can stop thinking about lyrics, melodies, samples, all the stuff that I've been observing. You know what I mean? It all comes as in an influx. So I would say observant. Very, very observant. Yeah, I think that'll be a good word. Yeah.
That's what's up. Hey, look, Fel. I really want to thank you for coming on Side B TV. Do you want to give any shout outs before we get out of here?
Man, shout out to everybody that's keeping the culture alive. Shout out to everybody in Camden City that is still brave enough to be creative and get out here and make some dope music. Shout out to everybody that attends Divine Drummer Radio. Shout out to the host, Milky Merv, 10th Degree, Ace. You know what I'm saying? Yo, those brothers are having an excellent time on Divine Drummer Radio every week. Shout out to Soul Buck. Shout out to DJ J Ski. Shout out to my Efficients family. Shout out to Dirt Platoon. My cousin Juan Nance. I love you, bro. My brother Mute One. My sister Tasha. My lovely wife Arlene. Yeah, no doubt.
I never knew Mute One was your actual brother. I never knew that.
My physical brother, man.
That is actually super duper crazy. And look, man, I want to thank you for coming on. I've been wanting to interview you for a minute. You know, you always send me music. You know, we always keep in touch. And when I started seeing those clips, I'm gonna tell you which clip I like the most. The big payback joint that you did. That was super crazy.
I'm gonna send it to you.
and real quick, how did you line up? Well, you don't have to, because you know, don't give away all your secrets, but you lined up the Soul Train line with that song that you produced. Super crazy, bro.
I just learned how to use CapCut. That's all that was.
Really?
You know? Yeah, I just learned how to do that because I really haven't been dealing with social media like that for a while. So, you know, me hopping back into it, and I just use my TikTok page just for music. I'll make some new joints or do a remix or something like that. After I'll play it on Divine Drummer Show or whatever, I'll toss up a clip of it on TikTok. So people that don't attend the show or don't know about the show, they can still hear it. You know what I'm saying? In different parts of the world.
How many more new fans have you gotten since you've been on TikTok?
I don't know, man. It gets crazy every time I go and I'll be looking at like how many people saw the joints. That was one of the ones that did really well. The big payback joint, definitely. That one and the flip of the Screaming Jay Hawkins joint. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Joint, like that went crazy on TikTok for some reason. It's people in other countries that I look on their page, I'll check that joint out and it has no English words on it. I'm like, yo, that's dope that they like this shit. It's music is the universal language, bro. Word up.
Absolutely. Oh, and give out your social media contacts too if anybody wants to reach out to you to actually work with you and collab with you.
No doubt. Silverback Loren, Fel Sweetenberg on Facebook, TikTok. I don't have an Instagram right now. And that's it. I think that's the only ones that and Twitter. Twitter, same thing, Silverback Loren or Fel Sweetenberg. You type either one of them and it'll direct you right to the page. You know what I mean?
Fel, I really want to thank you for coming on, man. Like I said, please do send over everything. You know what I mean? Yeah, just you know, anything that you possibly, because you know, if it has Fel Sweetenberg up there, I actually play it. Shout out to my man Sharif out there in Louisville, Kentucky, because he puts me onto like a lot of new music. And you know, to be honest, that's why I heard Mute One's production from my man out there in Louisville, Kentucky. And he'll send me a photo each month. And sometimes, you know, your name might come up. I don't even have to preview the damn song, right? If it says Fel Sweetenberg, I'm playing it.
Oh man, that's dope. Thank you, bro. Thank you. That's the stamp of approval right there from Phil Jackson.
Hey, look, man. It's like I said, you make quality, good music. Either whether it's you being an MC or producing a song, and I don't like anything that comes over my line, anything that somebody emails me with you attached onto it, whether you featuring you being an MC or your production, I'm playing it automatically because I already know it's gonna be fire. I already know that.
Damn, bro. That means a lot, bro. That give me strength right there to make me want to go even harder now.
You know what I mean? And like I said, man, it's like I got 2 radio shows, one in Princeton and one in Atlantic City, and I play your shows on. I play your music on both shows, bro. So just keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing because it is very necessary what you're doing right now because you are giving life back to hip hop. Especially in our area. Shout out to all the artists out there, but when you pop up, it's like, oh, it's gonna be some shit. And that lineup that you told me that's gonna be in your project, I cannot wait. And you said that's coming out in the new year, correct?
Yeah, 2025, the new project. I'm gonna send you roughs to that too, bro, so you can check it out.
That's what's up. Hey, look, man, I want to thank you for coming on. Anytime you want to come on, just be my guest, man. I'm gonna promote the hell out of you. Just let me know what you got going on. Then boom. Once the project is out, then you're gonna come back on. You're gonna promote it, but in the meantime, I'm still keep playing your music, man. And I thank you for what you've done, not just in our area, but just for the hip hop culture in itself, man. With the Nut House, you doing stuff with Dirt Platoon, you doing other stuff with other artists, MCing or producing. Now this it's not even that you reinvented yourself because I don't even want to say that you reinvented yourself, but it's just the fact that you're back. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And
with a new vigor.
Yeah, man. I mean, I see it, man. I could hear it. I can hear it in your voice, man. So, I really want to thank you for coming on, man. And anytime you want to come back on, just let me know.
Absolutely, bro. Salute, man. Thank you very much, bro. Word up.
All right, no problem, man. You have a good night, bro.
I finally got an interview with you, man. Finally.
Nah, come on, man. Nah, hey, look, man. In all due time, you know that was gonna happen. You already know that.
That's a fact. That's a fact, bro. I thank you, man.
Thank you.
Word.
All right, peace, man.
Peace.
And that will do it, man. Hey, look, man. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Look, Fel Sweetenberg, Silverback Lauren, the single's out. I'm playing it right now.
I'm in boss mode, 5 shots straight forward like
Drummer and DJ Soulbuck. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, so why is Fel still up here? No, Fel still wants to be up here. No, there he is. Okay, so but it was just an honor just to talk to him. We've been friends for so many years. I've been playing this music, being as a group, solo artist, production wise, he's just been doing it for so many years, man. I really want to thank him for coming on, and that's gonna do it for me, man. Hey, look, the Boombox Union, me and DJ Soulbuck, is we got some stuff lined up. We got some artists lined up. It's gonna be dope, man. So I just need everybody to keep tuning in. Please hit that like and subscribe button. And we're just gonna take it from there, man. Phil Jackson signing out. Side B TV, Boombox Union. Hit that like and subscribe button again. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Peace.